Well, on that note, I think I'll take a question from Ireland. This is from our friend Gene Douglas, who's watching from Armagh, Ireland currently, and he wants to ask you about the British Empire's green fascism. He says, Líana Chara, our developing organization in Ireland has adopted you as our founding father, since you have returned to us our famous bold imagination and given focus to our historic fighting spirit. You have reminded us that just because Ireland is a small island doesn't mean we have to be small-minded. So thank you for your ongoing encouragement as we lay plans to get Ireland back on its feet through the real Republican concepts of physical development and credit system economics. And thank you, too, for the frequent kick in the arse when you set us to scratching our heads, such as now, as we wrestle with the idea that we can overthrow the accepted notions of fixed space and time, and instead bend them to our free will. When you laid out a conceptual map outlining the new frontiers of the Arctic as the key to a world economic recovery, we eagerly accepted the challenge and began to consider how Ireland could play its part. We undertook a study of shipbuilding, with the intention of building real working ships, cargo ships, and icebreakers for the work ahead. In so doing, we intend to overwrite the oppressive sectarian legacy of the Belfast shipyard, whose first ship, the Venetian, was followed by warships for the British Navy and, of course, the ill-fated Titanic. Now we intend to unite our nation behind a new flagship, an icebreaker called the Gale. And I assure you, it will not be wind-powered, but nuclear. And we hope the concept of this mission, even before rivet is fastened, can inspire our island nation. Now, here's the question. Just because Ireland is known as the Emerald Isle doesn't mean we should be putting up with the most vicious form of British liberalism, the Greenies. So let me ask you this question, Lyndon. Wouldn't the crushing of the Greenie movement, representing as it does the very worst of genocidal thinking, be a very effective and necessary step in restoring to the world the power of reason? Thank you, Gene.
Well, I would say in the same tone that he has sent the message that there are several points to be made here. First of all, that the Venetian was named for a leading figure of the Venetian party, the Venetian, who became the king of England. And this was a very evil force, and who went into Ireland and did a general slaughter of the Irish. So the point is, I think we ought to recognize that William of Orange and his descendants should take a very modest posture in matters of world affairs. Keep their mouths shut most of the time, and don't scheme while they're keeping their mouths shut, because this thing cannot be tolerated. This is the oldest evil that we from the transatlantic community know, is this thing that led to the Roman Empire, which led to the other bars, which led into the Venetian system, which led into the collapse of civilization, and which launched the whole damn operation of the long religious warfare from 1492 to 1643. And that whole warfare was organized by this, what was called the New Venetian Party. And William of Orange was an official of the New Venetian Party, who had conducted earlier the wars against France. And this was all a process of rebuilding the Roman Empire around a new Venetian model. That new Venetian model is the British Empire, is the soul and other parts of the organ of the British monarchy today. And therefore one ought to understand, these pies have had too much time on this planet. Let them take a more modest position, a more humble position, when they can learn what it feels like to be under tyranny.